Welcome everyone to another TradePicks recap video. This one is for Friday, December 26, 2025, with the holiday week over. The market opened again. We're back to day trading, and today was again snowballs, but this time the snowballs were in our favor. We made out with 40 points today, 40 bucks. We hit this red snowman right in the nose. And remember, if you're going to get into the stock market, you're going to lose money. Seek professional advice. What I do is share my journey only for the benefit of information and educational purposes. Do not copy me. Your results will vary. And to do that, for my journey, at least I have a pre-market prep. Get on a few minutes before the market opens and go through a checklist of items that try to remind me how I need to concentrate. The most important one is discipline. Don't hunt for trades. Let the trades come to you, and if the timing's correct, and then the indicators, the technicals indicate that it's a good time, then I enter. If you like my videos, like and subscribe. We can sure use a lot more likes. So here's our P&L for today. We started up a little low, under $1. Then we made $22. Then we lost those, and we were down 50 cents. And I was almost going to quit when we had the opportunity to increase our wins and made off with $40 during the day. So here's for the month. We've cut down the loss to 330 with a $40 win on Friday the 26th. And our efficiency today was 50-50. We took 4 trades, and it so happens that the average of 2 of the winning trades were $32 a piece for 60 bucks, and the 2 losers were only added up to an average of $12. Here you can see the trades. SIDU, we made 23. The most consequential one was PCLA, which if you watch the video from the 23rd, Monday the 23rd, we lost on that on a couple of trades on PCLA. Now, for some parts of the video, I've sped this up 500% speed just so that I don't make these videos too long, 2 hours. So what you will see is that text up at the top left there that says 500% speed, and the market moving very quickly. So this is not the normal market. And it's important because you guys get to see. So here we had taken an opening trade at 307, and the market kind of had not quite opened. We were able to add a stop. The stop is not in effect during extended hours. That stop was my intent of keeping the stock open until the market opens, because I felt that it was going to go up to that top of the VWAP top line, come back down, and then go back up again at the open. And here it's anticipating. So what I did was only took 20 shares, and the stop is there so that it opens. If instead of going up it falls, I get taken out and I get stopped out. But here we were down a little bit, and with 20 shares at 307, the loss is inconsequential there. So with a minus 20 cent stop, with the stop at where it's at $3, the loss is only like 7 cents. In the meantime, there were other stocks that were moving, and we had branded these two because of news, SUUN, and we went in to look at it. I did not feel confident that this stock had anywhere to go. I thought it would, and let me rephrase that. Yes, it had news. Yes, it popped up. Yes, it had a surge, but I didn't feel that it was one of the constants. And that's another thing when I do trade, it has to be a constant. So the trade I took, the stock was moving up and the MACDs were green, and now I'm holding it through the red periods of the MACDs. DTCK was another one, acted up during the week. We looked at it, but As it turns out, I didn't take anything on DTCK, I don't think, and I just ignored it. And this was a Friday, and remember on the Monday, 22nd, what was it? On Monday we had a loss 19. On Tuesday we had a loss 93. So I don't think we traded Wednesday, and so we came back on the 26th, Friday, today. And the reason I may confuse you with the dates there is because this is January 1st when I'm doing the recaps. So I've got a whole bunch of days to do the recaps for. So if I talk in past or present tense and confuse you, I apologize. So here's the open, and we did get stopped out, as you saw, and that was perfect. Although it didn't fall too far behind, we got stopped at 301. And so I had good foresight, and you did see that it did move up slightly, but it didn't go up above, hasn't gone above 307 where we bought in. And the importance of this is that I was relying on my technicals and not on feelings to trade stock. I didn't think, oh, this stock is going to go up based on this, based on that. No, I looked at the chart. I looked at the MACDs, the volumes. I looked at the other stocks, how well they were moving up and down. And that's how I came up with those vertical lines. And there you see that it took off. So had I not gotten stopped out, well, I didn't get stopped out. Oh, I went back in at 304. So I apologize. My recollection is a little bit slow. So I have to look on screen to see what it's at. Now, again, like I said, this is another violation of my strategy rules to take trades before 6:45 a.m. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm 3 hours behind. But the stock did recover. And now, while I had a stop in, I didn't put a sell limit in. But I finally sold it, got out, make $22 on the day, and right off the start. So there was a huge importance in that those trend lines that I drew, and in setting that resistance bar up there, because I didn't think it would hit it, but it did, and I sold. And now I'm speeding it up, and let's see what happens. So if I had not gotten out at 318 and sold it out, sell out, was it flatten out? Look at that. So ASPC is another one moving. That was it. That ASPC had really good moves at $24. HIHO. Oof. So the saga continues with Thinkorswim not allowing us to trade foreign stocks. Now, as I mentioned before, it does help, because I remember there was one trade when I wanted to get in with 1,000 shares, and the fact that Thinkorswim rejected my order saved my my behind, and I didn't lose as much as I could have because the stock flushed. So I totally understand it, but since that one time, and especially through the holidays, I have there have been 3 stocks that I had the correct entries, WOK, and I forget what the other ones were. They were more recent, and because I wasn't able to trade them, I missed out on about $200, and all I could do was watch them on screen as they went up. And they were bracket orders too, so I knew that that I would have. I knew that how much I would have made. Now I'm not sour about it. I understand the reason they do those things, so kudos to them. But yeah, I would have liked it if I had been able to trade those stocks. The other issue, and this is again December 1st, the other issue I've been having is that so rejection of trades because they're foreign, lost money there. And then the other issue I've been having is certain places I haven't gotten filled, or I get filled at 10, 12 cents higher. So I'm starting to see problems. Now, I don't know if it's because of the holidays. Typically in holidays, IT people tend to leave, the technical people who run the back end tend to leave thinking that everything's running perfect, when in reality, that's not the case. They oversee things that they're handling on a day-to-day basis, and those get missed, and that turns into outages for us, or because of the holidays, the power companies, who knows, routers, the internet, whoever these folks are enjoying themselves, and well, we all do that, right? We tend to let our guard down and be a little bit more relaxed through the holidays, and it causes issues. So I am going to continue to trade with Thinkorswim for January, but if some of these issues do continue, I am seriously going to have to consider moving to another broker. Not totally moving, but testing other brokers. On my list to try next would be TradeStation, because I've used it a little bit before. I used them before for a little bit, and I certainly don't want to pay a monthly fee. That's not what I'm after. That's why I like Thinkorswim. Very low fees for sub-dollar stocks. No fees for all the trades I take, and I take a few trades a year. I take at least 16 to 2,000 trades a year, and there's no fees, and no monthly fee. That's awesome. I love the active trader window, and Thinkorswim charts are really great. I think a lot of people like them. So here's ASPCA, and it's a good thing we didn't get in, because as you can see, it was halting up. It looked really nice, like it was going to have moved, and then it halts down. ECDA, this was another stock, I think, that I couldn't trade. I think this was the one. So we're getting ready to take a trade here. The video now is slowed down to normal time, and remember, this is through the holidays, so even what you're seeing on screen is still probably, I say, about 40% less of a speed there than the stock market normally moves. And for this time, for 6:56 a.m. Pacific. But at the open, the stock market moved more like my 500% speed. So this stock I didn't think had the wherewithal to move. But as you can see there, it's made a couple of moves from under $1. And it looks like it has strength. And we continue to watch it. And I think this stock, the AC, is a treacherous stock ticker. I saw another trader this week lose money to it, holding it for hours. And I was thinking back while I was watching the video. I said, no, I don't think I traded this one. But I think I did trade it today, on this day, on December the 26th. Now, for me, the reason I probably forgot if I traded it was because remember, our first trade was $22 winner, and we were up. So for the whole day, we made $26, I think, on the 26th, was it? Or 40? I think it was 40. So what my thought here is the MACDs are starting to curl. Looks like volume is going to pick up. Looks like I just have to wait maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and we might have a pickup up through the up through BWAP. It might not go beyond $1.10, and $1.10 would be the cutoff before it comes back down again. So that was the thought. And the only other stock in my watch list was SIDU, which we had made money earlier in the week, but SIDU was not holding. And with a smaller 2K account, these subpar, sub $2 price stickers are attractive. At $1, it's great. So we finally decided to get in here. It's slow moving, but I remember I said I was looking for it to not go beyond 110. That's what I was hoping for. We finally get filled. We got filled at 108. So from 108 to 110 would be 2 pennies. And I'm looking for 120, right? For the right ratio. For a winning ratio. And I got a very tight stop set there. I'm not going to lose too much. I'm not willing, because I've already made 22 bucks, so I got to cover what I've made. And I think this was a losing trade, pretty sure. But we'll watch it. I'll watch it with you. We got a few seconds now before it ends. And on this day, on this Friday the 26th, my mindset changed. My mindset was more of, you know what, we're not going to hold stuff. We're going to use brackets. We're not going to take as many pre-market orders that are too risky. And we get stopped out 23 bucks. So what I made $22 on that first trade. Came and lost 23 on this one. So now we're down 50 cents. And I thought, oh, okay, well, even that, for Friday the 26th, if I report a 50-cent loss, I would be very happy, At least I'm not reporting a $19 loss, a double digit, or even anything close to 100 bucks. 50 cents, I'm happy with that. So we go back to 500% speed now as we look through other tickers for opportunities. And SIDU, I think, was the one stock we made $22, and the AIC we lost 23. That's the reason they're on the watch list. So that watch list there that I keep, and you can't see the P&L. I think I changed that. But if I haven't, I'm going to look at it now for the next recap and show you guys, so you guys can see the day's P&L on those watch lists. That's the reason I keep them there. So you'll see symbols on there that I'm trading for the P&L, and you'll also see symbols that I think may be opportunities. And the only reason I put them in there is because, unlike other folks, most folks like to keep a separate monitor where they have full charts of all the stocks they're looking at, and they visually use the candle bars to decide whether the stock's moving up or not. I don't like that. I think it's way too much to look at 8 charts on another monitor. I just can't handle it. So what I do is I put the items on the watch list, the tickers on the watch list, and what I do is I just glance over and I look at the color of the text. Obviously, if it's yellow, it's not going anywhere. If it's red, it's going down. If it's green, it starts moving up. So in just a second glance, we can see their DA1C went up from under $1 up to above. So if I see it move enough, then I'll click on that symbol, and I'll be right inside the chart, and I can decide whether it's an entry or not. And, so it's microseconds, and it's important. For day traders, especially on momentum, microseconds are important. if I was looking at a scanner or looking at the 8 charts on another monitor, by the time I switch, let's suppose that I've never seen the stock symbol, and it pops up. By the time I switch, I have to check resistance on the daily. I have to check support levels on the daily, on the 5 minute and the 15, because I do it for all the stocks, and that's how I draw my lines. Then I have to validate the float, see if it has news. I have to look at the volume. Is it either volume is up or relative volume? Then I'm back on the chart, and I need to look at that 133 tick mark chart there, which is the 10-second, the 5 minute, check my trend reversal for up or down. And then I have to look on the chart and look at the MACD and see where it sits. And then I have to draw lines on the histogram to see where I want to take a trade. So it's quite involved, I think, but all of this has to happen in seconds. So let's say the stock pops up as ECDA. Okay, I see it, and I begin my routine of checking it. By the time I'm done with 2-3 seconds, this stock has already moved up and it's on its way down, and I wind up getting into the top, and it turns into a losing trade. So the best thing is to get ahead of the market, observe all the stock tickers that are gapping up, and pick out the ones, do your official checking of each of these stock symbols to see if they're bona fide candidates, that if all of a sudden they were to move up, would you be interested in them? And then put them in a watch list like that you can click, and then just watch the text. And then you click on it, and you already have your lines drawn. You already know that it's a low float because it's on your watch list. If it's got a new news icon next to it, you already know it's got news. You don't have to read what the news are. Certainly some news are better than others, but typically just simply the fact that it has news, it's enough of a catalyst. And then all you have to do is focus on the chart, on the MACDs, and your support and resistance lines. And that's pretty much the setup. There are going to be times when, you'll come in pre-market and you'll list out 4 or 5 symbols. You add them to your watch list. The market opens and the ones you're watching are losing. So start removing them. Take them off. Then all of a sudden a new stock pops up in your scanner, and then you want to quickly look at it, check the daily to make sure that resistance isn't huge and that it's not going to hit a top line and fall, and then make a decision. And those are the ones that are toss-ups. The ones you don't have time to do a lot of checking and to draw resistance and support lines, those become now a dice roll. And that's where I think I'm losing. I haven't checked it. I need to go back through my videos and validate all of that. But if it seems like a risk, right, and you see this software newly showing up on your scanner and you haven't checked anything, what's the best thing you can do? Not trade it at all. Just back out of it and sit still. You're not going to risk your money if you don't trade it. Now, if all of a sudden it's one of those that it's going to move up high or it's going to go parabolic, you will know it. And at that point, you can jump in. But other than that, not every stock is going to go parabolic. Not every stock is going to move up 70%. Even if they have the news, even if the news are great, it doesn't matter. A company can put out news that says, "Oh, we found a cure for this type of cancer," and somebody else puts out another one that they're selling Bitcoin. I bet you that the Bitcoin moves up higher than the company that cures cancer. It's from what I experienced, what I've seen. Now I go back to this one stock. I was so hooked on the news. I think it was SRXH, and I thought the news was great. I read it and, oh, terrific. I'm going to buy so many of this stock and I'm going to hold it till they open. Well, turned out to be a big loser. Nobody, it just did not resonate with folks. And on that day, it was a penny stock that had no news, was a higher float that was making the money. So, in my head is always that thing about buy the rumor, sell the news. So that's the reason I say the content of the news is irrelevant. And if it's news, you might be selling rather than buying. So don't assume that a news catalyst is going to be the momentous stock. Now in a bull market, in a real bull market where everything is moving, that might be the case. But in the type of markets that we are now, I don't see that changing. So remember, when January comes along, what has changed? The date and the year, right? But the stock market hasn't changed. The stock market's still the same, right? SPY is where it's at. Nvidia's where it's at. Apple's where it's at. Amazon, all of those, the big sevens, their stock price is up where we left it in 2025. And in 2026, it's just more of the same. So just because the new year comes around doesn't mean that we're going to see this huge shift. So be careful. So now if you can look at the watch list, you can see their DAIC is down to 69 cents. So it plunged from a little over $1 down to 69 cents. And I just added PCLA. And that's the one that I traded on Tuesday, I think, and I lost $20 to it. And I alluded in that video that that I did make money here eventually. So we're about 5 minutes before the video ends. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, hopefully these videos help. And if they do, if you find them worthy enough, I certainly appreciate a like. Hit the like button. Make your thumb heard. Well, maybe I should think about it. If I'm not getting many likes, maybe you guys don't like the videos. Maybe I should reconsider. I should just do the recaps for myself. But I do, the subscriber number keeps growing. So I keep getting subscribers, but not many likes. I don't understand that. People don't like hitting the like button. Or maybe they're still, the jury's still out on me that whether they like it or not. So maybe I should change that to not if you like the video, but if you gain benefit. If my experience gives you something to ponder on, something to consider in the stock market. I know one lady, when I went live, that she did mention the fact that on that session it did help. But it'll probably be January, mid-January, or late January before I start to go live all the time. It's quite difficult. Don't want to wake up the fam with my loud voice. I have a pretty loud voice. And even if I close the door and put earphones on, I still wake up half the neighborhood with my voice. So here we go. Remember, we're watching PCLA. We're looking for an opportunity. We gave it a little bit of time. We saw 1-2 green bars on the histogram almost coming up, and we decided to jump in for 2,000 shares. We had $1,200 still left. And right here, all I'm doing is just moving the sell limit down a little bit. And we bought in at 0.4375 and we're down $15. And we got our sell stop all the way down a little bit, right above 40. So remember, in the penny stocks, you go by increments of decimals. So here I thought I had made a mistake. I said, oh, shoot, another loser. And you see there I have the fusion line there. And the high of day is at 46.58. So Essentially, I had bought it 44 cents. That's the easiest way to look at it. And it had a lot of play. Even though I had traded this symbol and I had lost money on it, for some reason today, on this day, on Friday the 26th, it seemed like there was an opportunity here to make money. And I don't know if it was because there was nothing else, but I brought it down. And remember, I made the mistake on that other one that I brought it down and I didn't bring it down enough. And I lost those $19 and I turned out to be a $22 loser instead of me gaining 19. Today I didn't do that. Today I moved it back down, sold at the top, 0.4579, made $40 for the day. And so that killed the DAIC $22 loss, recovered that, and another $10 to boot. And I think that was the end of the trade. There's still tape here on the video, so I'm waiting to see what it'll change. It'll be 500% speed, and if it's correct, I think it's PCLA. What happens shortly after this? We're nearing 8 o'clock. That was the other reason why I jumped in, because I thought at 8 o'clock Pacific, retail traders would come in and trade it. So I'll leave you here with the rest of what happens. Look at that. Went up to 48 cents. Could have made more money, but it isn't about that. We got out at the right time. It doesn't matter that it went up to 0.48 cents because of what happens next. So I'll leave the rest for you. Hopefully you guys had a great week. I'm moving on to the recaps for New Year's week. And yeah, enjoy. And you see me draw the line there of what I think is going to happen. And watch what happens. So the ability to be able to do that and project using your indicators and your technical know-how is rather important. Have a good one all.